Today we're testing Skims Swim, and I know what you're thinking, Kathryn, that's a risky move. Kylie Swim didn't go so well. Previous Skims experiences on this channel have been really just okay, and Skims Swim has not enticed me in the past because it seemed like very basic, nothing really very functional, just kind of like metallic string bikinis, which, you know, wasn't going to splurge on. But they came out with their Skims Swim Sport line. The name Skims is just very hard to say in conjunction with other things. And the sport line looks very sporty as expected, and it's supposed to be like surf inspired and looks almost like wetsuit material, and it enticed me because not only did it have like typical swimsuit style shapes, like, you know, regular cheeky bottoms, things like that. They also had swim biker shorts, one pieces, and like full like leg one pieces. So for people who are actually like going into the ocean, doing things like diving, surfing, tubing, I don't know, whatever you do in the ocean, I feel like some of these pieces may actually be functional. We'll see if they hold up to their claims. Also, I really didn't get like that many things. My box is pretty empty, and they give me this giant box. I don't want a giant box. That's another trip down to the recycling for me. It's just work I didn't ask for. Also, before anyone asks, no, this is not my natural hair. I haven't been hiding naturally wavy hair from you guys for like 4 years. I used a little like deep waver thing today, and it is way more volume than I expected. So anyways, if you're new here, my name is Kathryn. We do a lot of activewear reviews, clothing reviews, reviews in general. I try to do about 1 to 2 swimwear reviews per year. We don't like to do too many because it can attract the wrong audience. So if you are a swimsuit wearer watching this video, give it a thumbs up so we can direct it to the right audience. Every time I say that, some like creepy guy will comment on it and be like, eh, like I'm watching this video, creepy guy comment, thinking that I won't notice it and immediately block them from the channel. I'm like, you just called yourself out. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So there were definitely some neutrals in this collection, mostly neutrals like a gray, black, taupey, brown, but then they also had this really fun pink, which is personally what I'm most excited for, because when it comes to swimwear, I like bright colors. In terms of pricing of this collection, you're definitely spending over $100 on a swimsuit. Unfortunately, like that's kind of the norm, which for these pieces, if they are truly like a wetsuit material that have good construction, like I can see that more than like a string bikini that someone is charging like $70 for a top, you know? Like that seems like a crime. But I would still definitely put these at a high price point. Okay, so on the website, these are just called the Skims Swim Sport, but on this little bag, it says the Scuba Swim high neck top. And it is kind of feeling like, at least from the outside of the back, kind of like a neoprene wetsuit material, which is exciting. So first we have the high neck top. I got a size small, and this one is $78. So kind of a lot for a top, I agree. This is in the color chrome. For the most part, I followed the size chart and got smalls. That's what I've worn in Skims in the past. It's always seemed to fit, but some of the items today I did have to get a medium just because they were running out of sizes. Okay, so far, I feel like this feels pretty nice. It definitely feels like a stretchy, like neoprene wetsuit material, has a little bit of cushion to it. Definitely feels like it's going to be functional. The material composition is an 87% polyester, 13% spandex. I don't know if that's what like neoprene is made out of. We could probably look that up. So it seems like none of these pieces are going to have removable cut pads or anything, but I feel like most like traditional like sporty type swim, like that people wear for like actual like sporting events, don't have like bras or removable cups in them. So here's the logo. It says Skims Sport Swim. It's giving, what is it, TYR? Is that old swim brand? I used to swim. Just kidding. I did not. I swam in my grandma's pool. I didn't swim like an actual sport. And we have this interesting little like thing here. Maybe that's to help you get it on because, oh yeah, that must be it. Okay, so there's this little like Velcro on the left sleeve because it's a high neck. Maybe, I mean, it does have stretch, but maybe it'd be hard to get on. You get it on like this and then you do the little strap. That's fun. Let's read and see if it has any other purposes, just because I don't like surf or anything. Okay, yeah, it just says Velcro for easy dressing. This one is a high neck, kind of like cropped sports bra fit. I guess just like a straight tank back, so let's try it on. All right, so here's the top, and I will say having this little like opened section made it really easy to get on. So that's something that I haven't thought of before that's kind of cute. And then I just reach back and get this little Velcro thing, and there we go. I will say this side definitely feels more comfortable because it is a little bit stiffer over here with the Velcro, but I'm not sure that would bother me. So there is no padding in any of these suits, but because it has that thick neoprene, I feel like it's not going to be an issue. There's absolutely going to be no sheerness. So sheerness is definitely not going to be a problem. This one has the little seam lining at the bottom. Doesn't feel too thick or anything, feels just fine. And I do feel like it contours nicely to my bust, so I'm not just being like completely squished down. This is a size small, my normal sports bra size. Fits very well. A little bit of scooping away from the armpits here, but definitely not going to fall out of it. So I would say medium to full coverage. Only reason why it's not full is because there is a little bit of scooping. And then we have a full tank back. Really good coverage. So this honestly feels very sporty, very good coverage. Feels really nice. The only area, it sucks because I liked that this opened, but I can definitely tell when I'm raising my arms, it does kind of poke into you, the little Velcro section. Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily itchy on the bottom. They tried to make it soft, but that is just definitely one area of potential discomfort. So I feel like this might be my favorite top. I think I bought every top in the Skims Sport Swim collection, but yeah, I mean, I feel sporty in this. I feel like this is a good little like cute but sporty fun swimsuit. And support, I'm gonna give it medium to high support, definitely depending on the size. If you're in between sizes, you could really go either way. I might size down just for a little added like compression. Okay, then there's a couple classic bottoms before we get to some of the more like pant style, more full coverage bottoms. So we're starting out with the Skims Swim Sport cheeky bottoms. Okay, so I got a size small and this one is $58. So it's made of that same neoprene type material. It has an actual drawstring at the waist, which I didn't really expect. You know, I'm here for it. They do have a little hygiene liner and the front is seamless. Looks like about like a medium coverage down there. And the back has a seam up the back. So I feel like that'll help it kind of settle between the cheeks because this is a cheeky bottom. But I'm surprised to see that the bottom is just like cut off, which I guess is fine if this material isn't going to fray. Like you could see where it was cut and it's like a little bit uneven. So you can kind of see here, it's just not the most like even cut. Like there's no seam. I feel like it would have been nice to put a seam there, although seam might have more likelihood to cut into you. I don't know. Am I crazy or is that like a little bit raggedy? Okay, so here are the bottoms. So they have this internal drawstring that you can adjust and then kind of tuck in. I kind of wonder how well that's going to tuck in. Overall, this is a size small, definitely true to size, which is always comforting because you never know with these like really sporty type suits if they're going to be super compressive and run really small, but I would say this definitely runs true to size. Rise is about a mid-rise. It's not high leg or anything. The legs do scoop up a little bit on the sides, but I'd say like medium on the leg rise too. I'm wearing underwear under this actually, and you can't see it at all. So I'd say the coverage is actually pretty good, at least in the front. Definitely good coverage in this area. I'm not gonna be losing a lip or anything. We're gonna be contained, so that kind of like holds up to the sportiness of this. And then we do have that raw cut edge along the bottom. I really feel like this whole swimsuit is going to stay put really well. It will kind of ride up the cheeks a little bit just because it is a cheeky style swimsuit, but I don't feel like it's going to roll or anything. Really, it's hard to tell if this raw cut edge situation is going to hold up over time, but I'm not seeing any signs of fraying or any concerns when I pull on it, so it really should be okay. And then we have the back. The coverage actually isn't horrible. It just like comes up a lot, so I'm gonna give this a low to medium cheek coverage in the back, but it's like a thicker band along here, so it can kind of like cover up your hips a little bit more. I don't know, I don't feel like this little drawstring was totally necessary. The odds of this thing like coming down are slim, but you can tie that and then tuck it in. When you tuck it in, you do get like a little bit of pushing out there, but it's still, you know, a nice touch. I like that they added that as an option, but yeah, I'm liking these bottoms more than I thought. Another good thing about the raw cut edge is that you're not going to get any like double butt cutting into you or anything. So, okay, Skims. So I also got the Skims Sport Thong. This one is a medium because they did not have any more smalls, and this one's $52. So at least with the less material you're getting, you're paying less. See, this one has full seams along the edge. Oh geez, okay. This one, I don't know how we're gonna try this on, but we'll see. So here's the front. Definitely going to be a minimal coverage, and it is a thong back. As cheeky as you can get. Maybe I'll try this on over some shorts or something, just because it's going to be a little hard to try on just on myself. And there is a hygienic liner on this one as well. But as opposed to the shorts, this one actually has like a sewn seam edge, which I feel like just elevates it a little bit more. So you can see all of the edges here are a sewn seam. Some people prefer seamless swimwear where there's no like real seam along the edge, but in my experience in doing many swimwear reviews, having a seam like this does help swimsuits from rolling. In this case, you're not gonna get much rolling because it's already up your cheeks in the back. But anyway, let's try this on. Okay, so this is the thong bottoms. I definitely would not be sizing up in these bottoms just because when you do, you get like some extra thickness of this material, and because it's such a thick structured material, you get like that like wrinkling effect, and it's just not cute. So definitely could have done a small in this one. This one is like a low to mid rise. We do have a pretty high leg line though, so I will say high cut on the legs. The front coverage, not quite as much as the cheeky bottoms, but still definitely like good front coverage. I really don't feel like I would fall out of this. So medium to full front coverage, shall we say? I don't know how I feel about turning around completely. All right, I'm gonna throw on some shorts so we can, you know, show the whole thing of these just because they're a little big and is a thong back. I mean, so far so good. These aren't like the sportiest option, but I do feel like it would stay in place pretty well. And I just really love that this material is going to be so thick and opaque that sheerness is really never going to be an issue. Okay, here are the bottoms, and then here is the back. It'll definitely settle between the cheeks. It's a little bit thick for a thong, like maybe a little bit thicker than I normally go for, but personally I find thongs comfortable, so I would be okay in this. And because it is a thong, it won't be rolling up because it's already all the way up where it could go. So I find that thong swimsuits like stay and put very well. This one also has the seams along the edge along with like the more thick functional material. So I definitely think this is functional swim. I really don't see this like budging. I would wear this on a sportier swim excursion. All right, let's get to some of the bubblegum pink because this is so cute. So this is the color Taffy, and this is the Scuba Swim mock neck top. Okay, so I like how this one already looks like it's going to have a little space for the girls because it kind of like protrudes out a little bit, and we have a full zip up the top. I just hope, okay, it's a YKK zipper. I feel like YKK just has like a monopoly on zippers, but I feel like they make good zippers. So hopefully this kind of stays put. We have that Skims Sport Swim logo again. And on this piece, all of the edges are a free cut edge and none of them are sewn. So you just see little parts of it, just like the cut isn't even. And then when you get to the seams, some of them like are kind of poking out. Like we can see right there, the cut, it just looks like I could have cut this myself, not like that I'm buying a professionally tailored piece of clothing. And then things like this where you just have a little bit of fuzziness hanging out. Do I think that it's going to fray or anything over time? No, I just prefer the items that have the stitching just because I feel like that's going to be a little bit more durable. But maybe with the thickness of the seams, it would rub into you more. This is going to be a little more of a seamless feel. So let's try this one on. Okay, so here's the zip top. This one I'm not liking as much as the first top. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like it definitely has like a little designated like enlarged part for the cups. So if you are like super flat chested, like I'm talking like double A, like nothing, you might notice some extra fabric there. This one does definitely scoop up quite a bit higher and is just much like shorter line in the back. The other one came down a lot lower, and I did adjust this one and now it is feeling a little bit better, so maybe I just needed to adjust it. But this one definitely feels less secure than the other one. I think it's the lack of a seam stitching along the bottom. This is just the raw cut. So personally, I like the other one. This one is a full zipper, so it comes all the way down. I literally put this on like a jacket and then zipped all the way up. The zipper is not a locking zipper, so I would probably like, you know, if I'm really doing functional activities, keep it zipped all the way up just so the chance of it unzipping is lower. Support on this one, definitely feel myself bouncing around a little bit more, so I'm gonna go medium support. Coverage though, and we're still getting a little bit of scooping there, so let's do medium to full coverage again. I don't know, is this full coverage? Maybe it's more full coverage. Love the thick material. You may still get a tiny bit of nipping, you know, if you come out the water, a little bit of a cold breeze, you know, you may get some nipping, but I don't think that would bother me in this one. Got that little like scoop design here. You don't have that like itchy Velcro section of this one that we had in the other one, but something about this one I just feel like isn't quite as secure for me. So I don't know, I almost feel like it comes up a little too close to the under boob here just because it's so scooped. All right, next we have these Skims Sport mid-thigh shorts. I got a size small and these were $78. I just don't think anyone ever saw Skims coming out with like shorts swimwear, especially like a biker short, which I think is so fun for them because they definitely have their more like less coverage and a little more on like the revealing side. I just think it's really fun that they came out with options like this for people who are not ready to swim in just like a swimsuit with having your cheeks out, everything out. Like, this is coverage. Or even if you are comfortable with the swimsuit most of the time, maybe if you're like diving or something and you don't need to be wearing like a wetsuit, I don't know, this is fun. So it's definitely made of that like wetsuit material. Oh, look at that, no front seam. Love that. Okay, so we also have a drawstring on this one, which is nice, makes it fit more people. And then it has actually a zippered pocket along the back, so you can store some things. And this one has a sewn edge along the top, but the bottom is just a free cut edge again. It has an extended crotch gusset that goes all the way down the leg. I'm getting about a 6.5 inch inseam from the end of the short to the center seam. And again, I am just kind of getting some loose strings around where this is sewn down, and some of the black base is kind of popping out too, and I can't really tell if that was intentional or not, but some of the seam work is just not really like quite there. You could just see some of the black popping out, but it's not everywhere. Like it's all pink here, you need a little black there, a little loose seam. You're basically seeing the black all around there. I just don't know if that was the goal or not. Again, like it's not like the biggest deal to everyone, but these are expensive, so I don't know, let's try these on. I'm kind of excited. All right, here are the shorts. So this is definitely like a thick neoprene material. So we will definitely be getting kind of like a little pancake unibutt situation in the back. Nothing you can do about that. If you're buying these shorts, you're clearly looking for a little more coverage, functionality, and not really showing off the cheeks as much as like the cheeky bottoms. We do have that raw cut along the bottom. I am definitely getting compressed in the thighs, but not necessarily any digging in because there's no seams. And this definitely feels like it's going to stay put. A nice 6.5 inch inseam on me. So we know that's going to be a good inseam, secure, pretty thick thigh friendly. Again, it's a little bit compressive down there, but not cutting in. Overall compression, if we're rating compression on the swimwear now, the top, not a ton, but in the thighs, like a medium to high compression. So if I were to just bend over now, we get some gaping in the waistband. We have the drawstring. So the drawstring also feels like it's almost made out of the neoprene. And then we can just tuck that in, and then no more gaping, feels like it's going to stay up. And then there's also that pocket along the back. So you can put like some keys or something in here, essentials. So this isn't a piece of swimwear I feel like I would reach for a lot myself, but I love that they have it as an option. And I feel like this with the drawstring waistband and everything, the pocket makes it very functional. All right, next let's try the scoop high neck one piece. So this is the only item I got in black. Okay, so it's got like a zipper all the way down the front and scooped in the back. I did get a size small. It's looking a little bit wide at the waist, but hopefully everything else is okay. And we definitely have a scooped high cut leg line, so that might not be like the most like sporty option. Personally, I do like a high cut leg line. I just find it elongates my legs. It's very flattering. I feel like this is decent coverage for the bottom. Like this is like twice as much as Kylie Swim. So for people who need a little more coverage down there, have a little more thickness, and a zipper all the way down the front. So I wanted to like this one, but I can just safely say it's just not long torso friendly. I think that's my biggest issue I'm having here. So it's definitely scooped in the front to the point where I feel like because I have a long torso, this would go up a little bit higher. It's tight on the straps here, so I'm still being covered on the top. I would give it like a medium coverage, definitely a little bit of cleavage here, a little scooping around the armpits, and it's got that zipper that goes all the way up the bottom. Again, it's not a locking zipper, so I would keep it at the top while you're doing activities. The front coverage, it's not as much as some of the other ones, but I would still say pretty good. Like I still have some space kind of going onto the thighs, if you know what I'm saying? So I'd give it a solid medium front coverage. Then we got a high as the skies leg line going on here. This is the top of my hip bone and it's showing. This is, you know, this is your Kardashian hips out kind of swimsuit. So yeah, very high cut leg line. And because of that, it's just interesting in the back. So let's do a little moment here. So it almost like needed to be less coverage in the back. I don't know. First of all, we have seams at the bottom here, which I like because that helps things stay put a little bit better. We don't have any rolling. But I get this thing when swimsuits don't work for my long torso where I get like this excess fabric in the back there. So really that needs to be like snatched like this if everything's gonna stay put. I love the low scoop back though. I think that's like such a classic look, but definitely when you're walking around, it's going up the cheeks. So we get that fabric kind of like bulging and bubbling in the back just because it's such a thick material. Again, I don't know if it's like entirely like a torso thing or what. Also just because the leg line is so high, I'm not entirely sure. But if it does completely cover, I would say the back coverage is like a low to medium. It's different than the cheeky bottoms at the beginning because that was more like from the hips. This one is more down. like this. Again, it's still decent coverage, but this one for me at least would go right up the cheeks. So I would only get this one if you are a shorter torso. I don't really know about bra support. I mean, it's about a medium. There's no cup pads or anything, but you have that thick compressive fabric to kind of hold you in. So I wish it worked for me, but long torso problems. Okay, I wasn't sure whether I was going to get this one because I struggle with getting wetsuits on and it's just a disaster. It's not a fun time for me. So whenever I have to do that, I have a miserable experience. In order for my thighs to fit into a classic wetsuit, I have to size up to like a large, and then it fits in the thighs, and then my torso fits, but I have like so much extra fabric like around the waist, but there's nothing you can really do about that because clothes really aren't meant to fit most people. So this is the Skims Sport full length suit. Is this a wetsuit? Almost, but it's a tank wetsuit. So I definitely feel like you could still wear this surfing. I don't know. When it's not too cold that you need arm coverage and it's not going to be warm enough for like a lot of diving. But okay, we have like thickened knee sections. All right. I mean, do we see this? How am I gonna get this on? Is there no zipper? Seriously? Okay, we have another Velcro guy. That's going to help us get this on. I think I would have liked to see a zipper or something, but I don't know if most wetsuit material has this much stretch because this has like pretty good stretch. And in case anyone was wondering about the thickness, you know, it's got some thickness. So we have like little like contour lines down it as well, you know, add some style to your wetsuit. They have little zippers at the ankles to help you get it on. It's really hard to hold all of this up, so let's just try it on. This actually fit me way better than expected. There are some specific fit issues that we'll cover, but in terms of like legs and torso, I tried on the pants before this, and those I had a lot of trouble getting on. These and the thighs really did not have any trouble. The torso on this one feels just fine. Like I'm not having any like restriction in the torso. So this one is definitely long torso friendly. It was easy to get on. It had the little Velcro thing. You just kind of like snap on, snap off. I admire that they tried to do like a little bit something different with this sweatsuit with like the little like almost like one piece style seams on it. Like just a little bit of something. Normally I don't love like an underwear line seam, but this is a little bit different. It's like a one piece, full coverage in the back. And honestly, the material they used for this collection is really nice. Like it's like a soft neoprene, but seems durable. Every other piece in this collection has fit like pretty well, but this one like just has this like awkward amount of space like in the hips here. Like I don't have the hourglass Kardashian hips to fill it out, which like most people don't. I don't know. When you put my hip measurement in the size small category, it's like on the upper end of a small. Not because I necessarily have like a lot of hips this way, but like, you know, the full measurement is like, you know, circumference. So it includes the back as well. So there's a lot of room for hips in this one. So if you have really wide hips and are looking for like a tank wetsuit, honestly, this one's got you. I do just get like a little bit of weird kind of fabric gathering around here, which to be honest, I've never had a wetsuit that perfectly fit that either. So it's really not like too bad. Something to point out because not a lot of the other swimsuits had this issue, and this is not a size up. So I would kind of expect this in a medium. Anyways, top coverage, full coverage, we have no issues here. A little bit compressed and supported, I'd say like medium support. Would I get a lot of use out of this? No, but I honestly commend Skims for like actually coming out with functional stuff, because the last time they tried to come out with something functional, like their activewear, it was not functional at all. And this swimwear actually feels functional. So lastly, if you wanted leg coverage, but a one piece all-in-one just seemed like too much for you, we have the Skims Swim Sport long pants. So basically, seems like the long pants should have had a drawstring like the shorts and the cheeky bottoms, but they're just a raw cut edge at the top. So I'd be a little worried about these falling down. Anyways, we have a similar shape to the shorts, except it's just kind of like a classic legging fit with a raw cut edge. We have that little zipped pocket in the back. Like the onesie, we have those little extra thickened knee pads there, then some zippers at the ankles as well. So the ankles are a raw cut as well as the top. So here's the top. I just feel like when they do the raw cut, it just feels like a little bit unfinished. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of options in this collection. There's some pieces that are fully finished with the seams. There's some without. So anyways, let's try it on. All right, guys, so we have swim pants. This is a first for me. But I like the idea of it because, well, if they had a longer tank, I feel like that would be nice because they only have kind of cropped ones. But you can almost like build your own wetsuit. Like let's say if you are diving, I keep saying this because I got scuba dive certified last summer, so I could see myself wearing some pants if like, let's say you're in somewhere a little bit warmer. but you don't want to like get your legs cut up on the coral or anything. Like I know you shouldn't be that close. It happens, but you still want to wear like a 2-piece or something. I could see this being something that you wear. So I did get a medium in these, which was surprising putting these on because I was putting in some work getting these up my legs, which like I was saying with the wetsuits, I had to size up like 1 to 2 sizes in a wetsuit to even get it on over my body at all. So hoodies a little more space in the thighs for me. They are snug in the thigh area. I could maybe work a small on. It would just take a lot of time. Now I have some gaping in the waistband back here. Feels like it's sliding down a little bit. And because this material is so thick, you get that kind of like bubbling excess fabric. So I would try to stick true to size, but just keep in mind, you're gonna be putting some work getting these on. No front seam, which is awesome because like their activewear had front seams, so they clearly can do it without a front seam. Have that raw cut edge and there's no drawstring. So I really feel like these could have used a drawstring because pants are always going to be weighed down a little bit more than shorts. Like as soon as these are like soaked with water, they're gonna be really heavy and you're gonna want a drawstring for that. So kind of bummed they didn't have the drawstring. I love the double thickened knee pad areas, although it is not going on my knee. It is going on my lower quad. So not sure what that's about. And then you have little zipper areas to zip on and off, kind of get it over your ankles a little bit easier. Not the most flattering on the glutes, but it's a thicker material. These are not really meant to be flattering on the glutes. So nice thing to have. I just think they could have maybe made these more like the shorts with the drawstring and that would have been a little bit better. Okay guys, that's it for Skims Sport Swim. I believe that was every piece that launched. And honestly, the fabric they chose in this collection is really nice. There are definitely some concerns with like the raw cut edges, but they overall felt okay for me. And I really do feel like these pieces are actually functional. Like personally, I feel like if I had to choose a set, it would be that first gray set. The top felt great. The bottoms, they had coverage, but they still had that little drawstring. And I could just see myself like doing actual like, you know, water sports and things like that and having that stay on well. So Kim really said, let's take Kylie Swim, which you couldn't even move an inch in, and create a totally functional swimwear line. If you tried any of these pieces, let me know down below what your thoughts are. Leave your video suggestions in the comments down below. And if you made it this far, please make sure that you're subscribed and give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.